Hey guys, I'm back. I'm so excited to be here to talk to you again about all the things that you want to do in the next few months, all of your goals, your dreams, the feelings that you're having that are maybe keeping you from achieving those goals or maybe blocking you from feeling your best. As you know, I am a leadership coach and I work with leaders from all walks of life, people that are high achievers like myself that want to be successful financially, but we also want to be happy in our lives. We want to make great money, but we don't want to sacrifice the things that matter most to us. So some of the things we're going to talk about this season is, how do you really identify what you really want? And how do you make your goals a reality? And not in 5 to 10 years, but how can you do it in the next 6 months? That's one thing that I think you're really going to like. And then I want to take some time. We're going to do a 21-day challenge to manifest a certain amount of money, whatever you feel you really need to come into your life in the next month. For me, I have a specific dollar amount that I'm going to talk to you about, and we're going to get very specific about how we make that happen. And then we're also going to talk about my favorite subject, which is how you feel and how you can feel your best all the time and how you can achieve without, feeling stressed all the time. And how, balance, I think, is sometimes a myth, which we'll get into, what I mean by that. I think that we can strive to have as much balance in our life so that we feel our best and so that we can, not always burn the candle at both ends as we tend to do as achievers or any entrepreneurs out there. We have to work really hard, but we tend not to give ourselves the care that we need. So, how can we work really hard, achieve at the highest level, but do that in a way that we feel good about what we're doing? So those are just some of the topics we have. We're going to talk about discipline. We're going to talk about leadership mindset. But my mission really is to help people continue to achieve at the highest level, but feel energized most days, feel peace, feel joy in your life, and really feel like you can make a difference in other people's lives. I've learned to have more compassion for myself, and I'm still learning. And that's something I want for all of you because when you do that, you can have much more compassion for others. And that's when you show up as a leader. That's how you lead others by leading yourself first. And that's really everything, that this podcast and all the work that I do comes down to leading yourself first. But what I want for you is to feel your best. Because when we're leading ourselves first, we're feeling our best. And as human beings, everything, and I mean everything, comes down to how we feel. We are motivated by our emotions. We might think we're motivated by other things, but we're really motivated by our emotions. So let me give you an example of that. I was just having a conversation with a colleague about this actually earlier today. When you think about, say you want to make, let's say you want to make $500,000 this year, right? Or whatever it is, $100,000, $1 million, however much money you want to make this year. I want you to ask yourself this question: why do I want to make this money? And really think about the reason why. Some of you might say, because it will make me feel free, a little bit of freedom, right, to do the things that I want to do. Other people will say, well, I can pay my children's, college, or I can maybe buy my first house or rent an apartment. Whatever it is that you want, I want you to think about why you want that. So, say you want to buy a house, right? What is it that your house will give you? And when you go forward and keep asking yourself why, you come to at least one emotion, whether that's freedom, security, to feel good enough, to feel like you've made it, which is really just a feeling of worthiness, right? So everything we do in life, even making money, comes down to an emotion we want to feel. And what I find with money, I guess I'm going into the money talk today. I wasn't really planning on it, but no, let's talk about it. When it comes down to money, what I've found and we're going to get a lot more detail into this season, but is that money is always related to fear and security. So when we are concerned about money, that comes from fear. Think about it. Fear that we won't have enough, fear that we won't, something bad will happen because we won't have enough, right? Whether that means our kids will be in a bad position or we'll be in a bad position. Maybe we'll get fired. Maybe we'll end up not being able to have a home to live in or an apartment or whatever. So when you think about money, there's a lot of fear related to it. Generally, for most of us, the way we're raised, oftentimes, I'm sure, I know I had parents who said often, we can't afford it. We can't afford it, right? So when you are continually raised with this feeling that you can't afford things and that money is scarce, what do you think happens as you get older? For me, I ended up spending a lot of money. When I'd have money, and I see this with my daughter, she probably won't be happy that I'm bringing it up, but it like when I would have money, it would burn a hole in my pocket for me to want to spend the money, right? So I never really had a great relationship with money. And when my husband would want, and he still does, he always likes to say, let's have a meeting. Let's have a meeting. We have to talk about money. And my go to has always been this anxious, nervous feeling like I don't want to go there because I haven't had in the past a healthy relationship to money. Money brought up fear to me. So, like I said, I wasn't really planning on talking about money today. What I was planning on talking about are our goals, but that's where it went. That's where we went, right? So let's kind of just go with it. And I think when we talk about our goals, it may be related to money. So I want you to think about a goal you have for the next 6 months. I really want you to be specific. And I have a 3-step process for achieving your goals. And I will tell you from my experience, this process is easier than many and it works every time. But you have to be committed to the process. So, what I'd love for you to do is think about what your goal is, right? And you probably have lots of goals, but I want you to commit to one specific goal, your biggest, most important goal. And then so sorry, these are the 3 steps to make your goal a reality. The first step is to identify what your goal is. So what do you want to happen? And then why? So that's the first step, what and why. So for me, I'm going to just go ahead and tell you because we're going to be doing this challenge, but I have a specific amount of money I want to make in the next 21 days. I think tomorrow we'll start the 21-day challenge. So I might as well just tell you today. Let's just say you want to make a certain amount of money, right? This month. Actually, let's just do it. Let's just start today with the first step of the challenge. Sorry, I'm all over the place, but I'm so excited to talk to you guys. And I really, really missed you. And I feel that so many people that I talk to have this fear around money. And I just think it's important for us to just go ahead and let's do this manifestation challenge and let's manifest and work toward and attract the money that you want to make in the next month. So I'm changing this from your 6-month goal, I'm sorry guys, to how much money you want to attract in the next month. So when you come up with a dollar amount, I want you to think of, if you already have, let's say clients that are like close to closing and you're probably going to make that money, don't just choose that because that's a no-brainer. That's going to happen anyway. What I want you to do is kind of go above and beyond that and have it be a bit of a stretch. But say you could realistically make 30,000 this month, right? I don't want you to say 150,000 because that's going to make you feel stressed. And that's going to make you feel like it's not going to happen. But maybe you say 50,000. So that's a stretch, right? So I want you to tell yourself what you want to make in the next 21 days. We're going to do a 21-day challenge. And then, write it down. And then I want you to answer the question, why? And that's where we're going to tap into that emotion because chances are there's some fear, even if it's subconscious, related to not having money, right? So why do you want that money? So for me, I'm going to give you the example. I'm hesitant to give you this because I don't want to tell you what you should do, right? But I think realistically, in 21 days, it's definitely a stretch. And if I let my mindset and my fear, which I've done many times, get the best of me, I'd be telling myself, I can't do this. This isn't realistic. This is really probably won't happen, but I'm not going to do that. And I'm going to just have faith that I know this is going to happen, that I'm going to manifest $40,000 in the next 21 days. Okay. Why do I want that? I have committed to doing some work with marketing my new course, which I'm very excited about. And obviously, I have bills to pay as well, which is okay. We all have bills, and that's part of the um, flow of money. Money is supposed to flow in and out. And if money only flows in but not out, it becomes stagnant, right? So say you save your money and hoard your money and say, I have all this money, but it's not flowing out. You're not attracting more money to you because you're not, it's like against how nature works. You're supposed to have movement, constant flow. If you sit still, if say you don't use a machine or your car for a while, what happens? It won't work after a while. Things break down. So they're supposed to have movement and flow, which means when you have a bill come in, it's okay. Instead of groaning about it, you could say, you know what? I am so blessed to be able to have a place to live, to be able to have heat or air conditioning or whatever it is, or water or whatever you pay for. So you're going to have bills, but you're also going to have money coming in. So I want to be able to have enough money that I don't have to worry about, my bills for the next few months. And our daughter is in college. I want to be able to contribute to that. I want to be able to help pay our mortgage. And I don't want to, so I'm going to tell you what my emotion to it is. I don't want to feel worry. I want to feel financially free. So the what is, I want to make $40,000 in 21 days. And the why is because I want to feel free and peace. So that's what I want you to do. How much do you want to make in the next 21 days and why? And then what's the emotion to that? So I'm going to write this down so I don't forget. And then, so why for me is I want to feel free, right? And I like, so, because right now I have a little bit of fear because I'm an entrepreneur. And what I do, sometimes it's like good times, and then other times it's like crickets. So I feel like fearful of building my business, putting more money into my business, because what if I can't pay my bills? And a that's a conversation I have with myself often, which isn't a positive mindset when it comes to money. And that's around fear, where I have to be able to have faith. And so I want you to be able to get into the place of having faith. So I want to feel free and I want to feel like, where I'm paying all my bills and no worry. Okay. So then you have to put the work in. So the first step is the what and the why. It's kind of two steps, but it's an A and B. Okay. We'll call that A and B. And then the second step is what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? So I want you to commit to something that you're going to do. So for me, I have my new course out and I need to reach out to everybody I know, let them know about what the benefits of the course is. And I also have to make it known on my social media, right? And I have to, and not have to, I shouldn't say have to, I want to, some of the things that I want to do and that I have to be disciplined to make sure that I do spend time every day doing these things are to make sure that I'm spending time on my social media, make sure that I am doing this, right? My podcast, because this is part of what I'm very passionate about. And this is all part of what helps to get my name out there and to help, really comes down to helping other people. And then I also need to, so I said the social media, right? I said to reach out to all of my previous clients. Now I'm really giving you like we're looking under the hood here. What I'm really going to do, I'm going to reach out to all my previous clients. I'm going to reach out to some prospects that I am interested in working with. And I'm going to invite some new, really, really cool guests on the podcast that I think maybe in the long run could be lucrative for both of us. So those are my goals. And then the third step, once I do the work, so once you do the work, so now you know what you want, right? How much you want to make in 21 days. And then you know why. What's the feeling you're going to get from that, right? What do you need to, is you need to, it for a certain reason. And then what are you going to do for work? How are you going to make it happen? And so you might have a full-time job and feel like I can't really spend time into this, or you're an entrepreneur and you feel like I'm doing all these other things and I don't have time for this. That's not the right mindset. So you're going to have to flip your script, because what goes on in your head is really going to make it's all the difference for you. And I want you to at least commit to 20 minutes, just 20 minutes a day of doing some work toward this goal. Okay. And we're going to get into more detail on this, but I just want you right now to understand kind of what you have to do. And then as the days go on, I'm going to share with you like how to do it. And then the third thing is to let go of your expectation of what's going to happen or how it's going to happen. You have to be able to allow other people, circumstances, the universe to help you. And that's sometimes the hardest part, because we're so focused on the work and wanting it so badly that it's hard for us to let go of how the outcome is going to come about. So the reason why it's so important to let go is because there's something out there that's bigger than us, right? And when we are in the right mindset, when we are not in that fear state, especially when it comes to money, then we're showing up more flexible, more easy, and we're going to attract more to us. If we're having any fear around money, what happens is we start to get this almost like this nervous and desperate energy that can come up. And that desperate energy actually repels people and things from us. So I read this great book. I'm sorry, I forgot the name of it right now. It's such a good book too. I'm going to look it up and tell you later, but it was a very old book, and the woman that wrote it, she wrote it in the 20s. And something that she said just stuck with me. Um, the right machine will be sold by the right person to the right person. And then I added at the right time. So, in other words, for what I do, I'm a coach, right? I have met with certain clients and it didn't, we didn't click. And in the past, I would want to get that business because I would be leaving money on the table. But now I would be the first one to say, I don't think this is the right fit. So if for whatever reason I show up with a prospect and I'm showing up 100% myself, and I'm really like passionate about what I do, and I show about what I do, and for whatever reason they decide not to, work with me, I can tell you 110%, I am absolutely okay with that, because if it's not the right fit, they're not going to get the right, it's not going to feel good for me. Number one, I've been in that position, and they're not going to get great results. So then what happens? That's like a domino effect. They're not going to speak highly of me, obviously, right? I'm not going to feel good about it. It's going to make me not feel excited about what I do. And that's not going to be a positive experience. On the other hand, if myself and someone else, a prospect clicks and we work really well together, good things happen. They tell other people, and then I grow my business. So you have to have faith that, and I say, like the author that I was talking about says machine, but whatever you do, so whatever you service, product will be sold by the right person, meaning you, to the right person at the right time. So you really have to have faith that if you put the work in, then what happens after that, it's almost not your business. Like you have to say to yourself, all I have to do is focus on taking small actions every day, taking the next right action. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just take the next right action. And once you do that, you have to allow or have faith that things are going to kind of transpire in your favor. And when you're able to show up with that really just easy energy that you have real true faith that it's going to happen for you, magical things happen. And it's the opposite, like I said, of that, like, oh, that fear that you're holding it on so tightly. You want it so badly. It's so desperate. And then you just push things away. So for today, all I want you to do is to just write down what you want and why. Let's not worry about anything else for right now. Just what do you want in the next 21 days in regards to how much money do you want to make and why? And then we'll take it to the next step tomorrow. I hope that this is as fun for you as it is for me. I love manifesting and it's worked for me so many times that I just am so excited to share it with you. I am so happy to be back on this podcast. I had told you in the last podcast about how I was stressed out because I was creating the course. I told you, and a couple other presentations and so many other things were going on, and I needed to kind of take a break, which I did, and I'm so glad I did. I needed that like you wouldn't believe, and I'm not good about that, as I've told you. And my family and I went to Greece for almost 3 weeks. It was such a beautiful, like, vacation. We needed it so badly, every single one of us, all 4 of us, and we got, time in the ocean, in the sun. It was really hot, but it was really beautiful. And then I get back, giving you a little bit of, kind of where I've been in the last several months. And that's a whole nother story I will tell you about. But I felt a little like I didn't feel motivated when I got back. And I felt a little down too for like a week or so. And I don't tend to get like that often, especially in the summer. So it was like confusing and I didn't like that feeling. And I think, I'm trying to just be in every moment. And I think what it was that it's rare that I'll let myself decompress and unplug. And then once you unplug, it's hard to get back in. It's hard to get back into that momentum. And for me, I know that it's related to like I need to be always moving. And when I'm always moving, it makes me feel good. Like I've told you before, that's my drug of choice, right? Just continual um, uh, achievement. And because I was out of that routine and I let myself relax, when I got home, I was like, what the hell do I do with myself now? Like, I could either do the relax on vacation, but then once I'm here, I have to be like 110%. So I'm learning how to y- not go so fast and just enjoy the ride, right? So I hope that you can all do that as well. That's where I've been. I'm very excited to be back, and I'm really excited about this 21-day challenge. I know we can manifest lots of great things. So I'm dying to hear about what you're going to manifest yourself. Tell me. I want to hear how much money you can manifest in 21 days. I think I might upload this on IG as well, so you can kind of give me some feedback on that. All right. I hope you have a wonderful day and I will be back in touch tomorrow. Bye, guys.